What's happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. I think we all just seen that disaster of first presidential debate. You know, it was a train wreck to watch. We seen Biden up there freezing, stumbling, bumbling, mumbling around on that stage. We even had Trump telling him to speak up. He didn't even understand what he was saying at some points in time, guys. Had some people comparing it to, you know, watching a car crash in slow motion. And that was a similar feeling that I got when I was watching that debate. You know, it was almost sad. The most embarrassed I felt for our country. You know, honestly, since I've been alive, you guys, this is just, you know, honestly pitiful. We got new updates though. This coming from Fox News on the CNN debates. I didn't think things could get worse, but they're saying that things got worse. CNN sheltered some of the clips and, you know, held back some moments that Biden was stumbling and fumbling, and we got commercial breaks. So I'm excited to check out what's going on there and, you know, potential of, you know, missing footage from CNN. I mean, it's a left-wing media outlet. Anything goes. All gloves are off when it comes to, you know, left-wing media outlets like CNN. And we said that from the beginning, guys. I'm excited to get into this footage, see what's going on, what, you know, CNN has held back from the viewers. So we're gonna get straight into the clips. I'll get my thoughts on the back end, guys. So definitely stick around to the end. Guys, get my thoughts on the back end. And also, YouTube, push this video out. Definitely stick around until the end, you guys. But let's get straight into the news. Before we do that, though, make sure you guys hit that like button for me and also hit that subscribe button as we're on the road to the truth. Hop aboard for the journey. Let's get into it, y'all.
And welcome to Hannity. Welcome to Georgia. We start tonight with a Fox News alert. The very first 2024 presidential debate is officially now in the books. We are live from a very, very busy spin room right here in my former city, my former home, Atlanta, Georgia. Now, in a moment, we're going to be joined by Senator J.D. Vance, Senator Marco Rubio, RNC Chair Laura Trump, and many, many more people that you're going to want to hear from tonight. But first, this was historic. This was a night to remember. First word out of my mouth, wow. And by the way, one that Joe Biden will want to forget and probably already has. Biden's performance was the single biggest disaster I have ever seen in a presidential debate in the history of this country, televised debates. A complete, total train wreck. From his opening words, he sounded awful. He looked even worse. He was over-rehearsed. He continually lost his train of thought, mumbling, bumbling, stumbling, fumbling, dazed and confused. And this all after one full week of prep, at times totally incoherent. And to make matters worse, Joe had the strangest, weirdest stare, like an empty vessel. I actually was feeling so bad for him. I was hoping maybe at some point, maybe a family member might come in and throw out in the towel. He simply is not strong enough physically. He is not strong enough, doesn't have the stamina. He's not strong enough cognitively. He doesn't have the mental acuity to be the president of the United States. That's what the country saw tonight. You decide.
Make sure that all those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our health care system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden.
All right. Can you decipher what he was trying to say there? Does Joe even know what he was trying to say? President Trump pointed that out at one point. It is scary, and it was not, by the way, the only unusual moment from Joe Biden tonight. Here he is trying to talk about kitchen tables and rising prices. Pay close attention to how he says it.
No senior has to pay more than $200 for any drug, all the drugs they can include beginning next year. And the situation is and we're going to make that available to everybody, to all Americans. So we're working to bring down the price around the kitchen table, and that's what we're going to get done.
Meanwhile, on the topic of abortion, Joe Biden very weirdly focused on people getting raped by their siblings and their brothers and sisters. Take a look.
Look, there's so many young women who have been, including a young woman who just was murdered, and he went to the funeral. The idea that she was murdered by an immigrant coming in, they talk about that. But here's the deal: there's a lot of young women to be raped.
We're going to interrupt this tape for just a second. Joe Biden is speaking live. Let's go to Joe Biden. I guess he's talking to the press somewhere.
Liar. Look, folks, what's going to happen over the next couple of days, they're going to be out there fact-checking all the things he said. I can't think of one thing he said that was true. I'm not being facetious. But look, we're going to beat this guy. We need to beat this guy. And I need you in order to beat him. You're the people I'm running for.
Come back to me. All right, that's Joe Biden at a debate watch party. Can't really make out exactly what he's saying. Let's go back to the debate itself. Here's Joe trying to talk about veterans and D-Day. Take a listen.
I was recently in France for D-Day, and I spoke all about those heroes that died. I went to the World War II cemetery, World War I cemetery he refused to go to. He was standing with his four-star general, and he told me, he said, I don't want to go in there because they're a bunch of losers and suckers. My son was not a loser, was not a sucker. You're the sucker. You're the loser.
President Trump?
First of all, that was a made-up quote, suckers and losers. They made it up. It was in a third-rate magazine that's failing, like many of these magazines.
Let's stop here about Joe Biden for a second. You cannot diminish the unbelievable debate performance tonight that we saw from Donald Trump. Donald Trump was focused. Donald Trump didn't take the bait. Donald Trump did not in any way react. He was lucid. He was on his A game. He did not get upset at anything Biden tried to throw at him. And in fairness to fake news CNN, fake Jake and fake Dana, they put aside their prejudice, their hatred towards Donald Trump for the night, and they actually asked questions and waited for answers, and I thought they managed the debate fairly well, something I didn't expect considering we've been playing all of the tape of them trashing Donald Trump for many, many years. So I guess credit for one night. Biden didn't just get confused and fumble over his words. He also lied. He lied about suckers and losers and that hoax. He lied about the economy. He lied about taxes. He lied about violent crime. He lied about the border in particular. Biden even lied when he said he got an endorsement from the Border Patrol Union. Well, moments ago, the Border Patrol Union tweeted this statement, to be very clear, we never have and never will endorse Joe Biden. But despite all of this, his most egregious lie was about the brave men and women of our military. Take a look.
And the military, you know, when he was president, they were still killing people in Afghanistan. He didn't do anything about that. When he was president, we were still finding ourselves in a position where you had a notion that we were this safe country. The truth is, I'm the only president this century that doesn't have any, this decade, that doesn't have any troops dying anywhere in the world like he did.
Really, Joe? No troops dying? I know you were looking at your watch during the dignified transfer, but did you really forget about the 13 Americans who were killed in Afghanistan or the thousands that you abandoned and left behind because of that disastrous withdrawal? This debate made one thing very clear. Joe Biden is not fit to be president. Donald Trump clearly is. The Drudge Report sounding the alarm on what they're calling Operation Replace Biden. Dems scramble with 130 days to go. Debate catastrophe. Or as Politico put it, Biden is toast. Calling it now. Biden stumbles, rambles in opening of debate.
Yo, there we have it, guys. I've been saying this entire time, guys. This thing was doomed from the beginning. You know, all the people on the right, all the folks were saying, you know, if Biden actually gets up there and they let him, his handlers let him get up there on that stage, he is toast. And everyone on the left was trying to vouch and say that he'd be all right by himself, and they'd seen him speak at conferences, do, you know, numerous events and appearances, but we all knew that he couldn't withstand, you know, non-placated questions, you know, held accountable for his actions, his administration, policies during his presidency. You know, Joe Biden just isn't ready for that, guys. He isn't equipped. He's shown us numerous times that he just is not there anymore. You know, as your age gets up there, sometimes you tend to decline. The mental acuity, his cognitive state is just at an all-time low. No matter what the people in his corner, his administration, the folks on the left are trying to, you know, put out there to say. I think this last night really woke them up, though. You know, seeing him on that stage and just no one out there. He's in the middle of the ocean and he almost just didn't have a lifeboat, didn't have a raft, anything to swim to. And Donald Trump's just, a shark in the water, just like he was biting at him, chewing him to pieces, man. It was really sad to see. It almost felt like one of those situations where, they egg this little guy on. They keep telling this, just little guy, he's 80 pounds, that he could beat up some kid that's 150, a big massive kid, and they just keep egging him on because they want to see him get wailed on. And then they finally get into the fight, the altercation, and you see that, he had no chance. There's truly no way he could ever win in that debate right there, guys. No matter what they put him on, whatever he's hopped up, it didn't matter. He was hopped up for what, 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden it was just downhill, was spiraling out of control. Like every single time the debate moderators would ask a question, Joe Biden would, deviate, wander off path, off track of the question, never circle back. Then he'd stop talking, then the moderator would remind him that, hey, you've got a little extra time to talk, Joe. It just seemed like he didn't remember any of his talking points or what he was supposed to be focusing on. This guy, Joe, is just truly not fit. And I hope this shows people, our POTUS should be someone who is a strong leader, someone that doesn't look like a pushover or geriatric in the, American people or in the eyes of those world leaders, on the world stage. We got everyone looking at us, guys. We can't just sit here and say, hey, the American people, the Democrats, folks on the left are very disappointed. And they're seeing that Joe may not be the guy. So we've got to look and pull our scope back a little bit further and see that, the whole world just seen what happened last night, guys. And if that guy gets somehow drugged in office later on this year, we're doomed, guys. We're doomed. That train wreck of a debate, we were able to see that this guy right here is our biggest threat to democracy, biggest threat to America. Just think about it. We don't look the same as what we did 4 years ago. In the world leaders' eyes, other world leaders are not looking at us the same. They're not taking us seriously anymore. Where they're seeing Zelensky's able to come over here and beg and beg and beg, and we're giving and giving. Joe Biden is failing through his policies. He's opening the border. He's driving, our prices through the roof. Economic state is at an all-time low. Housing markets went up, 30%. I mean, this guy, Joe Biden, is just doing it all, and it's the wrong way, and everyone's seeing it. Right now, I think is the time for the Dems, the last shot for them to go ahead, swap him out, guys. I think it's time to throw in the towel. I definitely think it's time they get that going because the wheels on the Biden administration bus got sold a long time ago, guys. That bus is not going anywhere. But definitely hop in the comment section and let me know your thoughts on the debate as a whole, and also let me know how you think this debate is going to affect, the Dems, how they go forward. What is the DNC's next strategy as far as their candidate? Do they keep this guy in place, or are they going to try to go for the replace? Definitely hop in the comment section and let me know your thoughts. And also make sure you guys hit that share button and share this out to as many Facebook friends as possible. You guys share the truth. Also make sure you guys hit that like button. It doesn't cost one thing, you guys. Hit that like button for your boy, and also hit that subscribe button. That's been on the road to the truth. Hop aboard for the journey. I'll catch you guys on the next week.